Good afternoon on what is a bright, mild and clear day. It is Wednesday the 12th of January. I'm back in the Read Nook with Cat Who's Not Ours, a nice hot cup of tea. And of course, a pile of parcels. And the next one I'm going to dig into is this one. So here is this, which is Nephilim, Occult and Role-Playing. It's published by Chaosium. So when was it published? Early 90s, I think. 1994. Nephilim. Science is an illusion, history is a lie. In ages past you lived many lives. Your slaves built the Great Pyramid to honour your death. You died for the sins of Jerusalem. You lost your head suggesting they eat cake. You are Nephilim, demigod, prophet, saint and magician from the mythic past. Again you incarnate to continue your ancient struggle for enlightenment and against the plots of occult societies who seek to enslave you and steal your magic. This is a very different roleplay game. And it kind of shows different in a number of ways. So it's basically not different in subject. No, it is published by Chaosium, but there's another publisher involved, Multisim, which was a French publisher. And it's, to be honest, if you the French have the well, what can I say? They have their own way of doing role-playing games, and they do different role-playing games that really are kind of just not what we expect in a role-playing game. You know, they'll take an idea and they'll give it a different twist upon it. They import and translate many of our role-playing games, but not many really go the other way. Very few do. Polaris eventually got published by Fantasy Flight Games. And then what's it called? Trying to think. Steve Jackson Games published the role-playing game with the Angels and Demons as well. But there are very few that get published and translated and published. So this is one of them. So it's very different. It's occult role-playing. And I can remember trying it once back in the 90s, not to any great effect. You can see, open it up, and it looks dense. Just on the opening pages, there's a lot of content there, quite small. And really, if really trying to dig into that, it's going to be challenging. I think that's going to take a lot of attention. I think. And we'll be basically going through the history, so of Atlantis and the Selenium Rescue, the Great Compromise, and coming up to the discussion really of your past lives and character creation. Just trying to think, just check something. This is interesting. This is actually a Lightning Source reprint. So yeah, that's not an original. I was going to say it's in really good condition, and I probably paid too much for this. So this is something you've got to be on the lookout for these days. Is basically people selling these on eBay. This is not necessarily this. I mean, basically, it felt too new to be really. To really feel old, and I was just sort of like being, this doesn't feel right, and you can kind of check down below. We've got this double kind of ISBN code number, so that's interesting. So yeah, I will be going back to eBay and saying, yeah, this is not the original. So the reprint itself is not particularly, I don't think it's particularly clean or clear to read. Essentially, what you're doing with character creation is really is creating multiple elements of the characters through multiple lives. And taking you through basic different forms. So whether that's the Jinn, the Phoenix, the Sylph, the Angel, Triton, and so on. I mean, I've already looked at the one book, The Occult Societies, which presents essentially the types of the enemies that the character that the Nephilim might face. We've got the occult experience, for creating more of the background to the character, and then we get on to the part where the characters have past lives. They've been reincarnated again and again, and you can see essentially just how the quality of the printing is not particularly fresh there from from the reprint. But anyway, we do actually have an example of characters, the character generation there. And basically going through the different ages. So we have pre-dynastic Egypt, 5000 BC. Thebes, Egypt, 1350 BC. And so on, so on. So then Babylon, Persia, 600 BC. Alexandria, Egypt, 350 BC. And basically Jerusalem, Judea, circa 30. And so on. Rome, Italy, 350. Monseigneur, France, 1243. Basically, that's the time of the Cathar heresy. France, circa 1630. And in each of these, we've got historical context, secret societies, your simulacrum, you're the body you were in at your new life. And then London, circa 1900, presumably be sort of about the time of the Golden Bough, and so on, and then your new life now. So it's fairly complex in terms of character creation, and we have actually occupations there as well. An interesting thing is, if you think about this, is whether or not the original role-playing game would have been a percentile game like this one, or it might have been different, because that happens too. We'll go on to a discussion of game system and incarnation. So on, yeah, lots of things in here. So then we got rules for any reincarnation. Presumably, once you get killed, you can die. You can be reborn again. And then magic, because obviously the player characters the Nephilim are inherently magical creatures. Dealing with, and we get on to basically we have occult sciences and dealing with the actual magic as well, including rituals such as the stasis ritual, initiatory rituals, sorcery. Quite a lot to grasp in here, and as I say, made all the more difficult with this version of the rules because it's not immediately easy to read. As I say, we have quite lots of things. When we're summoning seals, the realm of elemental evils, elemental animals, elemental illusions, realm of spiritual elemental comprehension. So there's a sense here that you are certainly learning a lot about the esoterica in going through this. And grasping this game, because we also got alchemy here as well. And then we've got the exoteric, the occult world. And other secret societies like the Assassins, Teutonic Knights, Order of the Solar Temple, Renewed Order of the Temple, and so on. And you can see, I'll just say how rough this basically, this isn't a clean, straight reprint. Sacred Places, and we've got Game Master characters at the end. So, and Bestiary, and the Chronicle of Awakenings, which is basically presumably the scenario at the end. So I'm interested to dig into this at some point. It's interesting as a reprint, but not the original. I'll be interested to look at the original, which will be a lot easier to read, I suspect. And I suspect this is just somebody who's done this. I don't know whether you can actually get hold of this and do it. Either somebody's just got hold of the PDF and done a straight reprint and sold it, which is a bit naughty. I'm not entirely pleased with that. But in the meantime, I hope you have enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, please do click the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me here with parcel and a book, which I will unbox and talk about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so. All, of course, accompanied by a cat who's not ours and a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do hit that subscribe button down below. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. I'll be back again soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.